bells ringing as your heart was singing past you in the wind, and now you're leaning in. You ain't sure whose life it was, and now you're watching on the see just how the story ends. Looking down, you feel the bed, the city heaves its chest erupt, and it all comes rushing up to meet you with no gravity.
We are joined by Juicebox. Joe is joining us as well.
The one-ton project in stereo.
One-ton project in stereo. Best way to listen to them. So how are you both?
I am well.
go
How
first.
are you?
I am good. I'm good. Juicebox, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great today. Having a nice day off from work, sipping some coffee.
That's good.
You doing all right, Andrew?
Yeah, I've got a glass of beer and
It's that time of day for you. It's coffee time for me.
yeah, it's 7:10 in the evening, so I'm not morning drinking yet. We heard that radio project that you did. Can you tell us a little bit about how that all kind of came about?
Oh yeah. So we that was for the NPR Tiny Desk contest. So they're taking independent submissions for the. I don't know if you've ever heard. Some of the people have heard of the Tiny Desk concert, and they're inviting unknown bands like us to make videos and win the chance to make our own Tiny Desk concert at their studio. The requirement was to make a video that looked like you were at a tiny desk. So that's why I'm sat in the middle at a desk with the band kind of surrounding.
No, it looked awesome, and again, sounded awesome. How did you guys?
Thanks, dude.
How did you all meet? How did it all come together?
So we the band kind of started with a proto version of the band in high school with me and D. Kenny, and from there over the next few years out of high school, it morphed, and then different lineups and things, and at a certain point we met Travis at an open mic at a coffee shop that I was frequenting, and just a smooth voice, so we knew we had to have him. Right around 2007, we kind of evened out the lineup with the one that is still in place today. I don't know. It's tough because everybody kind of met different ways. And Travis and Joe knew each other before we knew Joe through different relationships, and he could speak on that. But yeah, it all just kind of came together. Friends of friends in the community. Hate to generalize it, but that's how
I think most bands kind of end up getting formed. You end up bumping into people or finding out.
We did meet Sage, our bass player, through an ad, like a local music ad, where we put out there that we were looking for a bass player.
Well, Megan will be happy. There's a cat on the screen.
Right.
This is Stanley, you
Hey
guys.
Stanley, I've got my Arlo cam if my dog turns up.
What's up, Stanley?
Oh, he was sorry, Stanley.
Monster will probably jump up and make a visit at some point today too.
Yeah, I somehow ended up with 3 of them. I have Jessica, Stanley, and Carl.
Carl. That's how it happens.
Carl. The rise
That's
of
how it happens.
Carl.
We lost one of our cats. Sorry, I was just gonna start telling a cat story, but I don't want to.
Cat story, go.
Oh, we thought we lost one of our cats. One of our cats disappeared for like 3 weeks, and we were like, "Oh man, like, something must have happened to him because we can't find him." So we went and got a kitten, and that's Monster.
Oh, cool.
And then 2 weeks after we got Monster, our cat showed up that we lost. When you said
even better.
when you said we just ended up with 3 cats, that's how we ended up with 4. We just kind of ended up.
Oh man. Cool. So yeah, back to OTP. I'm gonna say that we met because of the East Side. Me and Brandon actually went to the same high school. Myself, Juicebox, and D. Kenny went to the same high school. D. Kenny was there. He was a senior when I was a freshman, and I remember him. I don't think he remembers me at that time. But there was that connection that we realized later, and Stanley's in the way still.
Sorry, this is all great for shorts.
This is awesome. I met Travis in high school. I was actually I was dating Brittany, whose uncle worked with Travis, and I met him at it was like a New Year's Eve party, and I saw this dude in the corner with a guitar, and I was immediately like, "Oh, yes, let's go jam." And a couple years later, found out he had been in a band, and said band had broken up, and so we started trying to start our own project. And I don't know, I'm not sure of the details. I don't know what happened, but everybody started to get back together.
D. Kenny had left. He had moved out of state.
He did.
That was about 2007. Yeah. And
Yes.
so our band was One Ton Project was like jamming in Travis's garage, and the other little side project that you were working on with Travis and Daniel were jamming in Travis's garage. And at some point we were like, why don't we just get everyone in the same room?
Yeah, we were actually jamming at D. Kenny's house as well, because he lived next to Travis.
Oh, well, I was going to say they were right next door to each other. Yeah.
They were for a minute. And yeah, that's how it all happened.
What was the sort of first initial song? Did somebody already have something that they wanted to work on as a band, or did you all just kind of collaborate together and just sort of jam out some stuff and then work from that way?
At first, we did some covers. We did a Police cover. There was a Stevie Wonder cover. There was some neat stuff we were doing just to kind of get started and get used to each other. And I think the first thing that was brought up by myself actually was Brother. I think that's the first thing that we worked on together. And then Brandon took me under his wing and taught me death jazz and stone progressive. Juicebox. And it was all a deep learning experience from there, because I wasn't I always loved progressive music and all that stuff, but I never played it. I was always kind of like a classic rock kind of punk player, and being in the room with these guys was a bit intimidating, and it was a learning curve for sure. But no regrets, man. I love my experience with these guys, and it changed fundamentally who I am as a musician.
Dude. And well, he was already a badass. He's being modest because when he stepped in the room, it like the whole thing changed. It was like a different vibe. But we had up to that point, so that was 07 when we kind of merged the two jamming bands. That's right before that D. Kenny had moved away, but we had like 4 or 5 songs that we were playing as One Ton Project up to that point. So, you know, we started working on Brother. That was the first one we worked on with this lineup that remains today. But we still play some of those old songs. Like probably the first One Ton Project song officially was Blacklight.
Well, I was just going to say, incidentally, and it's not like I planned this or anything, because I didn't, that you mentioned Brother. I have found Brother on SoundCloud, so it would be cool to have a listen to it. I don't know if you're happy with that.
You play anything that's up.
I found a picture of you when the months turning years, but it looks like you're still alive. Surprise, thought you'd lie in the grave that I made for you. I made for you in my mind. So I find you living, loving, breathing, enjoying the life that used to be so damn hard. So sad and so hard. Keep yourself where you are. You wouldn't wanna change. Keep yourself where you are. You wouldn't wanna change. You turned our brothers of love into a father's fight. Backhanded but thirsty fight. But you refused to change with me from the boy I knew to the man that you could not be. So I find you living, loving, breathing, enjoying the life that used to be so damn hard. So sad and so hard. Oh, keep yourself where you are. You wouldn't wanna change. Keep yourself where you are. You wouldn't wanna change. Keep yourself where you are. You wouldn't wanna change. Keep yourself where you are. You wouldn't wanna change. Keep yourself where you are. You wouldn't wanna change. All your bones are warm as the flames die down. Your eyes go up you wouldn't wanna change.
Well, for that wonderful performance of a song. Yeah. Sound effects are fun.
That brings back memories. Man.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic song, great performances, and again, really interesting all the way, sort of front to back. So I seen in the chat that you said that you finally got that finished in 2015, and you started sort of 2007. So why did it take you so long?
It's a complicated story, but basically, we never thought we could afford studio time,
Right.
and so we had some recording gear ourselves, and we just wanted to do it the best we could by ourselves, and we stuck to that attitude, and because we were so set on that, we took a very long time getting it actually done. So in 2015, for perspective, 2015 is when we put out our debut album. We officially released it. Everything was out, right? That was, I think, 11 or 12 songs. Some of those songs had, at least 4 of them were as old as 2001 and 2002.
Right. Okay.
When we finally finished the final versions of them. So, yes, there's an element of we are perfectionists, and there's also an element of we are stubborn, and also an element of we are broke.
It's the trifecta of delay.
Yep. And then, no, it's not. That's just the base element of delay. Then, as we all became not single, and then as we all became fathers,
Yep.
it introduced more delay into the signal, as it were.
Yeah. Daniel said in the chat, it's criminal that it's only had a few 7 plays, but you'll admit yourselves you're not brilliant at marketing, and unfortunately that's kind of half the battle sometimes of getting your songs out there. But communities that have been growing up around, like with the Audio Brothers, and then there's Thomas Christ, Pete Johns, Trey's Stream, Glenn's Stream, like more and more people are getting a chance to hear stuff that they wouldn't normally find and discover. And I think Millennial Animal said it best, it's like there's great music out there, you just got to not be lazy and maybe go and find it. And I mean,
Yep.
you're all fantastic songwriters, and you obviously work very well together. Joe, what are your sort of things that you sort of start out with?
I think that I evolved a little bit as a musician over time. I think back when we were working on and recording Gizzards, I stuck to my guitar. I think I did a little percussion on that album, but back in those days, I was a guitar player, and I stuck to that, and I was, like Brandon said, stubbornly a guitar player. Our technique for writing has always been someone brings a riff and everybody just gang bangs it. You know, it's a feel. You know, yeah,
It's a riff gangbang as opposed to a riff salad, or tossing a riff salad maybe.
Riff bukkake.
Yeah. That's gross. That's how it happens. Someone brings a riff, and everybody jumps in on it, and it's a feel thing. Our band is it's a brotherhood. It's a family. You know, our kids know each other. We're close. We are people that are going to know each other until the day we die, whether we're playing instruments together or whether we live in the same state or not. And there's a thing that happens when you have that kind of a connection. You're in the same room. You don't even have to speak. There's a musical language and a body language. You can the feedback is immediate. And when someone brings a riff and everybody starts just noodling, there is like this communication in the air between everyone, and it kind of guides everybody towards their own parts. And that's how One Ton Projects makes songs. I never bring a part for someone else. I noodle my own part, and then someone writes their part that kind of keys into my part. And everyone else does the same thing. And we have this unspoken thing where we don't step on each other's parts. We fit to each other's parts. We don't try to overplay or outshine or anything like that. We always do what's best for the song and for the feel of it, and for the fun of it, for just being in a room together and having fun, and making something that's satisfying to do together. And I think that's also the result of that is also what has brought us close, and made this this brotherhood and this bond that we have. As far as what I have done in terms of playing, like I said, I stuck to my guitar for that record, and I wasn't doing any mixing back then. As a matter of fact, I didn't know anything about any production back then. As time passed, I was starting to write parts on piano a little bit. I'm not a piano player at all, but I can sit there and noodle around until I find something that, when I have inspiration. I think that I'm not a great player, but when I'm inspired, I feel like I can pick up any instrument and write something. Inspiration takes me places, and when I'm not inspired, I can't work anything out. But I started writing some things on piano and stuff like that, and then after our little hiatus, after we released the record, when we started thinking about doing a softer EP, I thought, man, I can do that. I think I can produce this. And I just spent every spare second of my day reading about production, mixing, what exactly are the fundamental functions of every effect in a circuit. And we started. I don't know if I could pat myself on the back here, but I kind of like pushed the band along to like, hey, let's make this EP. Let's record these songs. We can do this. Let's go for it. And I kind of took it on my own to mix these things, and a lot of it happened right here in this loft. As a matter of fact, almost all Gizzards and Hearts was recorded downstairs in my front room. And yeah, that's how it's happened. That's how it's happened for me. And that is my experience of the band.
I'll pat you on the back. You did a good job. You did a good job.
Thank you, Brandon. I have a long way to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's measurable if you listen to our Untied EP, which is like it's a lot of softer material and acoustic, emotional songs, which was like a complete 180 from our Gizzards and Hearts album, which was like just rocking. But Joe mixed all of that EP, and then listened to Last Laugh, which is like the newest thing that we've put up. It's not released yet, but it's up. And Joe mixed all of that. And I think you can see immeasurable improvement as Joe's kind of gone to mixing school on One Ton Project's music. It's really evident. Yeah.
You didn't give yourself like anything that easy to mix because you've got, I mean, the songs that you write, the band write, are extremely complex layers, and obviously you've got them worked out before, so I guess from that side of things you know where everything's got its place. But to mix songs as complex as you've got, as a learning curve would be whee flying right up.
Real quick, Amy Lee Forever, Helena, she asked if we could put a link to Joe's music or her channel.
Yes.
Tell him about that, Joe.
I don't have that.
I didn't want to be the one to tell everybody.
Yeah. Sorry. I do have a couple of songs that are just mine that I've worked on, but I'm not confident enough to put them out. I don't think I'm a good singer, and honestly, I haven't had the time or the energy to really create my own channel and put my own things out. I think that whatever time and energy I have, I put into One Ton Project and Juicebox.
Come to
Go check out some One Ton Project. That is really Joe's like creative essence that you can go listen to. Joe has a huge part in One Ton Project's overall sound, writing, production, everything. He's backbone. So go check that out. But with some of the maybe some help from the community, Joe's gonna get some solo music out. I know it. We're gonna make that happen. We're gonna help you make that happen.
I think Joe should just come and sit on Trey's stream for an hour and a bit, and then realize that it's going to be better than this stuff. Joe, I should play some of my first submissions to Trey's streams, and then that'll make you feel better.
Yeah, Daniel, Shadow of the Throne. Actually, Travis Mercer is our lead vocalist. He was sadly unable to make it to this. We tried to get him on this stream. Tried to get everybody from the band on this stream.
We'll get them all back on once we figure out how to do live stream jams. You know, 6 months.
That would be fun.
Dirty Boots. Can you tell us a wee bit about Dirty Boots before I play it?
Joe.
Dirty Boots. It was a riff that Daniel had brought with a completely different feel than what you hear. And I initially wasn't into it, and I learned it because I love Daniel, and I do the same thing I have the same respect for all of the guys, all of my bros in OTP. I learned the riff, and I really wanted it to be something. And one day, I played it a certain way, and everything just kind of cascaded off of that new feel. And I was going through some things at that specific moment, and I had a friend, a close friend, that was very, very, very sick at that point, and some painful lyrics came out, and that's Dirty Boots.
You turn right. It's been reeling around my head. Who's gonna take her name? I'm not ashamed of you. Just a taste of her body, mistake, she'd never return to me. Yeah. Who's gonna take her place? Will I just waste away? Call me morbid, call me a pessimist or worse. Say I'm sullen, say I'm cursed. Lord, I know they come for me, for my soul. I know they're trying, but I hold on so desperately. Desperation's no place for hiding. And I don't wanna go to sleep, though I made this bed I lie in. And I say it doesn't bother me. Truth is, I'm afraid of dying. Lord, I know they come for me, for my soul. I know they're trying, and I hold on so desperately. Desperation's no place for hiding, but I don't wanna go to sleep. Though I'm laid this bed I lie in, and I say it doesn't bother me. Truth is, I'm afraid of dying. Coming for me. I know they're trying. Desperation's no place. But I don't wanna go to sleep. Though I'm made this bed I lie in. But I say it doesn't bother me. Truth is, I'm afraid of dying. Had your boot heel left, but you turned right.
Wow. Fucking amazing. Whew. Totally agree with Ryan what he said. Goosebumps on that one. Just beautiful. Beautifully
Thank you.
produced, beautifully sung, performed. Yeah. I've not
Thank you, man.
actually listened to that one, and I'm sad but also kind of glad that this is the first time getting to hear it, because it's not often you get to listen to a song and then speak to the people that wrote it right after listening to it. So wow. I was gonna say what the sort of difficulties that you've had as a band coming together and writing.
Right. So I brought the riff back to the band, and just like I was saying before, everybody just kind of jumped on board and wrote their parts to it. Daniel definitely worked on the lyrics with me. I think I had brought all of the verses, and I had the story, and then Daniel supplied some more hurt to that one.
If I may, that's Daniel Fuller, our drummer, and also an amazing multi-instrumentalist and songwriter in his own right.
Amazing songwriter. you should hear some of his stuff. Matter of fact, Hunger is Daniel.
Right. Yeah, Hunger is a Daniel song.
We'll
It
get that on
certainly
next.
is. Daniel has this this old soul when it comes to writing. His stuff just sounds like something you were born with, you know. Like
Yeah.
you hear that song,
Classic.
it's almost like that song's been here forever. That's the kind of songwriting Daniel possesses. So yeah, I brought the riff back, and I said, hey, you know, I kind of like this feel, and I brought the melodies and the lyrics, and the same way it always happens, everybody jumped right in, and that one was finished pretty quickly. I remember. The thing that took the longest about that one was getting that cello done.
Recording it.
So
Recording it.
is that live cello?
We did the drums multiple times as well, but yeah,
We
the cello
did,
was an
we did.
epic recording session.
We did. On the original demo, we recorded the drums. We wanted the song to have a country or like a Nashville type of sound vibe, but also with more almost hip hop sounding drums. And the original drums were done not as a kit. We actually recorded a kick drum played by hand with a mallet, and and a snare played separately, and the hi all separately, and we mixed it all together. That demo wasn't. It lacked some kind of heart, and we ended up recording the drums again. One of us messed with it, and it sounded a little too like I remember feeling like the kick drum was clicky like a metal kick drum, and it just didn't. Here's going back to being that perfectionist. I don't think that we're perfectionists in terms of every note has to be perfect, because I certainly am not a virtuoso, and I could never play something that was, you know, perfect. I think that we look for feel. Like if the song makes you feel something, once you hear it, you know it. You know, it's
Vibe.
It's not about
Vibe.
It's all about vibe. If you hear it and it makes you, and it doesn't make you feel anything, do it again. You know,
Right.
you can record. We have, you know, here's a production sidebar, I guess. There have been tracks recorded here by Juicebox as well as Travis. Tracks, parts that weren't necessarily perfect in terms of, you know, pitch or stops, noise, you know, production faux pas, whatever. But the vibe and the heart was in the performance, and that's it. That's a keeper. I don't care about noise. I don't care about imperfections. If it feels good, if it had a heart, and that's it. That's it. That's the part. You can record this. We were talking about this in the other stream. A good song you can record on a cell phone, and it could sound shitty as shitty gets. And if it's a good song and it's written with heart, that'll come through. But anyways, back to the song. We did that cello live.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a programmed cello and a real cello, but that definitely, I was like, that sounds like a real cello. Just, I guess the air around it, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I love cello and anything. Nick Drake's "The Cello Song" is one of my favorite songs of all time. Just all those parts, and when it's done with that the acoustic guitar and just the whole feel and the lyric. Oh yeah, just fantastic. But you were saying it was a nightmare to do.
Well, I mean, it was like a 6-hour recording session for the cello, I think. Not that it was particularly difficult to do. It's just that there was a lot of cello to do and a lot of different harmonies that we needed, and we had one cellist.
Right.
So
Right.
she sat down, and she's amazing. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head, but she was awesome. She is a total pro and really did fantastic on that. One of the rare guest musicians we've brought in, and she really nailed it.
Yeah, we pushed her. She showed up not knowing anything, and we basically laid out, or Daniel Fuller actually laid out all of the parts, and she had to learn them on the spot. And not only that, but perform clean enough and be recorded. So she got put on the spot and killed it.
Total pro.
Chelsea.
Ah, yes.
Chelsea.
Big up to Chelsea.
She was awesome. But
Shout
yeah,
out to Chelsea.
the original cellos were done on a keyboard.
Right. Band
And
what's the program called on Mac? GarageBand. They were GarageBand
GarageBand.
cellos. Yeah.
Yeah, and when we heard them back, that's when we had talked about possibly keeping it that way, or releasing that original demo, because it did have a cool feel. Like I was talking about, we wanted it to have like a Nashville meets hip hop drums, hip hop beats kind of thing, and it did have that. It was just missing a little bit of that, the goosebump effect. So somebody brought up, and I think if it was going to have that, it needed real cello, and it needed to be up front, because the keyboard cello sounded good when they were like kind of just filling the space. And once we recorded that live cello, man, it just made it pop. And we decided to do, really popped off. And then we decided to do a full drum kit, like a classic song. And Daniel had to learn how to play that kind of like hip hop swing beat that he does on there on the kit, because we had previously played it all separate. And again, he killed it, I think. It's got pocket, feel, all the things.
Did you blend any of the original separate drums in with the kit drum?
We did not. What I did was I sampled 2 different snares and stacked them. And that's why I wanted that snare to kind of sound like a shotgun blasting off there. And so in order to do that, because again, I'm stubborn and I refuse to use multiple mics on a snare, which is, it's a shame, because I probably should if I want a snare to sound actually big. What I had to do was sample a snare and stack it on top and blend them together, EQ them so they would work well together, and give that pow sound.
Absolutely fantastic
Crack.
song.
Crack.
We'll put another one on. What was the one that you said that Daniel was sort of predominantly?
It was Hunger.
Was it Hunger? I think I've got that.
Yeah.
Yes, here we go. So we'll listen to that. So again, just before we put it, if you let us know a little bit of background about the song, obviously, did Daniel come with like a riff, or did he have a lyric, or how did it sort of come about?
Daniel came with the progression and all the lyrics. And the,
Right.
and the
He basically
and
wrote the
lead
basic
melody.
song. Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
we
he,
just
he
added
wrote
all
the
our
basic
parts.
song. We did. And then what I remember really about that song is the 4-month woodshed that the band did. This was probably the last big project that we worked on together in the same room, all 5 of us. is we woodshedded the vocals and the rehearsal of the song Hunger for like 4 months in 2019. And to get all our vocal parts right, because all the harmonies and stuff, it was one of the first times you hear all of us, previously Travis would have sang all of the harmonies, right? A few years before. But at that point, we were all stubbornly wanting to sing that live and get all those Crosby, Stills, and Nash type harmonies together for real, right? And so we spent a lot of time practicing the vocals.
So
for
when you were
that's a 4-part harmony,
yeah. When you were doing the vocals, did you obviously you practice all together? Did you record each of them separate, or did you have some sort of gang vocals sometimes when you're all around the mic in the room in the recording as well? Or
no, we recorded them separately.
Yeah, we would practice
go ahead,
them together. Joe. Yeah, we worked them out together to make sure that all the parts fit, and then we tracked them. We tracked them separately. I think I waited until I was alone here to do mine.
I did mine by myself too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a cool one because it's such a departure from what we were used to at that time. I think that when you have so many sounds and layers, it might be a more complicated mix. But when you have so much air and so many, like, especially the a cappella vocals, it becomes infinitely more difficult. I don't think I'm not quite sure how to word it, how to phrase it, but the simpler something is, the harder it is to make it sound intimate and big at the same time. So this one was a challenge to get right. But again, you do anything artfully and heartfully, like Daniel Fuller, and it comes through.
Sweetheart of gold, I know she knows. Lord knows I know. We just scrape by. No need to fuel the fire with selfish games, and we can't deny the suffering, but we haven't found another way to make it through another day. We just scrape by. Hard as we try, we can't survive among the flames, but we can still admire the warmth they bring, and we haven't found a better way to satisfy the hunger pains. We just scrape by. This isn't happening. This ain't the life we thought we'd have when we were dreaming it. Baby, what happened? Lord knows what fools we mortals be. I know
That one makes me
Awesome.
smile, man.
That's I mean, you guys can all sing. You can all sing beautifully, but that boy Travis has got some fucking voice in him. Like,
He does the thing.
Definitely. We were trying to figure out what we should do for a bridge, and I was like, I want more Travis in this song. And we should just go down to Travis doing the Travis thing. I called it a vocal solo.
yeah, that was immense. I think I have heard that one, but I don't think I've really listened to it properly like I did there. Again, I think did this one of these get submitted to Trey's
Yeah.
stream? Yeah, that's probably. And
Yeah,
again, I
I've-
was probably typing and.
I've probably submitted every single One Ton Project song that is available on the internet to Trey's stream. That's probably like $400 worth of Trey submissions right
Yeah,
there.
I needed to cut
I
back on
appreciate you showing it. I appreciate you showing it to the people, and thanks people for
Show it to
checking
the
it
No,
out.
this will be. There'll be. I'm saying to everybody, if you have socials, if you've got your own social media accounts, get sharing these songs. People need to hear them. I know it's difficult. I know not everybody has social media. Not everybody likes it, but I think that songs like this and artists like yourselves need to people need to hear you because the songs are beautiful, and I think anything
man.
that gets played, it doesn't matter genre, style, or things like that. People will appreciate a good song regardless. If it's a cheesy pop number, if it's some sort of death metal or something. I mean, I can't say I like death metal, but occasionally you get those ones that just kind of go, "That's pretty fucking cool."
You can tell when it's undeniable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate your kind words for sure, man.
no,
Yes, thank you so much. And it has all to do with the fact that at some point we all kind of started writing things that were real to us. One perfect example was Having Mine.
oh, that's
Having
getting
Mine hits. Having Mine hits right here. It's it's so real. It's such a real experience.
Yeah.
When you hear it, you're like, "Yep, I know what that feels like."
Nah, it's crazy because I rarely write from that perspective. Like I kind of like to write fantasy things that I'm not experiencing, and that one was that'll be probably a super rare Juicebox from the Heart song, from Life Experience song. There's definitely
Correct.
reality in that one. Yeah.
Correct. I think out of all of us, Daniel Fuller and myself have always brought content that's based on real life and heart. And Juicebox has always been kind of like the lyrical wordsmith and amazing storyteller. If you haven't heard Stone Progressiva, get on that one. That's those lyrics are one of my favorites.
He said, "Get on that one."
Get on that one. It's so descriptive. It's one of those songs where when you hear a song, something like and I'm not comparing the style at all to like a Bob Dylan tune, but when you hear a Bob Dylan tune, he has a way of describing like time and place and existence in one line. That song, there are lines in that song that are so descriptive. They make you picture what the song is about. And I'm not gonna give anything away, but it's such a neat way to describe things the way Juicebox does. And he's right. When he brought Having Mine, it was such a different style of writing for him, and we were all just blown away. I think he was a little bit shy about it at first, but we were like, dude, this
I thought I wrote a country song.
feels-
I think I wrote a pop country song, you guys. I don't know if you're gonna like it, but here it is.
Yeah, and it's I think that was at a point when we were all kind of changing, and I think we were all afraid to bring anything other than like prog rock, for
Right.
fear of like, oh, dude, what you're doing? What?
Pop country.
right.
You've been
he
watching
brought-
too much Nashville.
Yeah, and then
If I can
he
say-
brought that.
If you don't mind, Andrew, it kind of looked like you were gonna try to cue up Stone Progressiva.
I am. I've got it ready to go.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Here's what I think, and I love it, Joe. Thank you for like piling that praise upon me. But I think somebody who didn't get enough, like hasn't got enough praise and talk about, is our bass player Adam Sage, who also writes songs in his own right, and I think it would be kind of cool at this point if you, I mean, it's your show, and
No.
your show.
You.
but we've heard enough about Juicebox. Let's do some. Let's play an Adam Sage song.
Okay,
And
which
like you
one's-
can play the Vineyard.
The Vineyard.
Yeah. Now that's a
What
song
wonderful
that,
song.
and we call him by his last name. He's Sage to us. And I think we're probably the only people in the world who call him by his last name. But Sage
Yes.
fucking rocks ass. He's a very creative individual. He brings so much character to the low end part of our music, and his own writing is fucking super sweet. So it'd be cool to play the Vineyard if you would.
Yeah, we'll play
mind that.
we'll play the Vineyard, and then
Ain't nobody burning lights. I said there ain't no way to pass the time. Yeah, out in the fields, believe them lies. Run for your life. One don't never taste the same. Do you feel like it is coming down? Counting the flames and knows our names, swinging low in the shadows of men. Old and lonely, vintage to drain. Sold my soul, it didn't help anything. In the sun behind the dogwood grove, I feel alone inside the pines. It's shining down on the stones. Believe them lies. Run for your life. One don't never taste the same. Do you feel like it is coming down? Oh, Halloween's turning when they get the lid off. A smolder in the cold and wet, dark, tinting ominously sweet notes of fire. The grapes are out and burned from the vine. When the rain scanned the rivulets were narrow, and it made the sound of dense regret. It's a dark sense of harmony to unsuspecting it didn't make a difference. Counting the flames, it knows no names. Swinging low in the shadows of men. Old and lonely, vintage to drain. So my soul, it didn't make a difference. Counting the flames, swinging
That's my school. That was really. It's amazing, and obviously, it's I guess what happens when you have a collection of people that are all got their own vibe, they've got their own sound that work well together, and you create a collaborative effort of songs that have so much difference to them, but at the same time just gel so well together. And I think it's great to hear. It's and I'm hoping that if people, well, I mean, I'll keep sharing and just it needs to be heard by more people. And good music is out there, and as Millennial Animal said, people just need to go and fucking find it. And whether they stumble upon it from a submission, and I've put a link, I'll just say just now, I've put a link to all the channels in the description. Hopefully it'll be on this video. If not, I'll update it. But to all the channels that share music. So some of them, obviously, like Trade Stream and things like that, you pay for, but there's other ones that do free submissions. You might have to wait a while or join in the chat. I discovered one through Millennial Animal the other night, a guy called Farm, and he's really cool. He gives a little bit of feedback. It's predominantly kind of hip hop stuff, but I submitted some of mine, and it was good to get the feedback. And again, it just gets you out to different audiences, and good music translate. Obviously, Bobby Everything. Thomas Christ has a show. I don't know if you guys have heard of Thomas Christ. A really nice guy. He
Only from you.
He takes submissions and he plays them. And a lot of people like Valerie, Mr. Smith, they all know Thomas and Frank Tarzo. It's like the community that sort of come over from Jade Star and Pete Johns. It's nice because Pete Johns was the first sort of community, and then sort of discovered Trey, and they're all starting to merge now, which I love. It's like the communities are starting to intermingle, and I think that everybody loves good music and everybody's nice and everybody wants to share good music. So get your sharing out on your socials, people. I'll be doing lots of clips of the show, and links and what I can do with YouTube. But another excellent song. And really well
Thank you, Andrew.
So I
Hey, there's another live stream. I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's another live stream that I was able to check out last night for the first time, and that is Conspiracy Music. So we want to throw those guys a shout out too. They do mainly metal, but they'll take all your songs, and they're like the graveyard overnight shift of the submit your song streams.
No, perfect. That's
so check them out.
I'm trying to add as many of them in my description so people can go and check them out. But I think when I did the description for this one, I'd not updated it, but it might have updated. I don't know, but I'll update it. And obviously all the people that submit, go and follow them. I'm hoping to get different guests on next week. I think Millennial Animal Sean is going to join me next week. But it's probably going to be Sunday night rather than Saturday night because I'm busy helping somebody move on Saturday, so I probably won't be back in time. So it's probably going to be next Sunday, but there'll be plenty known about that. That was a great song. Well, I want to say thanks to both of you to come on and let me try. And it's very strange interviewing people. It's like asking questions.
Hey.
It's a weird thing.
Hey man, you're already good at it. We love it, man. You should definitely do more of this stuff. Happy to be on your first episode.
No, I really appreciate it, and I wanted to start off strong, and I knew I was gonna get to start off strong with having you guys on, and definitely we'll hopefully get you guys back on if we can get the other guys on as well. It'd be great to get the full band on, and
I'd love to do that.
And at some point, if we can never figure out how to use that thing that you keep talking about, Juicebox, we might even manage to get a live band performance. But it would be great to get you guys on, maybe get some performances and things like that. But no, thank you very much for joining us. So we will play Having Mine. No, in fact,
It's 8 o'clock in the valley and not a single belly ache. Head tired and weary and definitely mentally drained. These days prove short and there's simply no time to play. For those of us who've got our shit together, our priorities straight. Take a look around, baby, don't you realize lately we've been burning time? You've been on it wishing you could get yours while I've been out there having mine. It's 12 o'clock in the valley and honey, you're arriving late. Cold shoulder under the impression that I've been deserving your praise. These days prove short and there's simply no time to play. For those of us who've got our shit together, our priorities straight. Take a look around, baby, don't you realize lately we've been burning time? You've been on it wishing you could get yours while I've been out there having mine. Take a look around, baby, don't you realize lately we've been burning time?
remembered that we had the Project Home Sessions Left Me Blind performance from you guys. So I thought we'll play ourselves out with that. And then before we go, I want to say a massive thank you to Joe and Juicebox, although I don't know if I'm allowed to call him Brandon, but I'm going to call him, he's Juicebox to
No.
music. No. Oh, that's okay. That's fine.
My mom calls me Brandon.
Juicebox, Joe, thank you so much for your, for joining me on this premiere of the show. And it was great fun. Really appreciated all the information that you gave us about the band. Thanks for letting us share your music. And thank you for all your kind words and feedback and everything on all the songs that have been submitted tonight. We'll be back next week on Sunday, probably. It'll be myself and Millennial Animal will hopefully be joining me. We'll get that sorted and I'll put all that information. I'll put all the SoundCloud, all the links, everything like that in the description for One Time Project, but I'm sure you've already gone and found them on SoundCloud, and I know that they've got songs on Spotify as well. And at one point we'll maybe get Joe to release some of his own solo stuff. We'll needle away at him on that because knowing it'll be good. So thank you, Joe. Thank you, Juicebox. If you want to say anything, feel free.
Thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. This is now the second time I've done a stream, so I'm almost brand new to this. I love spending time with my brother, Juicebox. It sucks that we don't live in the same house anymore, but I love you, brother.
Love you too, man. This is how we hang out now.
Yeah.
And Andrew, thank you so much for having us on and letting us talk about our band that we're really proud of for the people. It's something cool. It's like a special gift to us that we are able to do this. So thank you for providing a platform for us to get our name out there and listen to some of our music. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Left Me Blind, the Project Home Sessions Part 1. Here we go.
One, two, leave me alone. Sometimes you'll find me. I made the attempt to look for you, but you left me blind, searching for self-control. So far, no luck. Pretend was made. We looked for you, but you left me blind, you played with yourself. You didn't have to ask. You didn't have to ask. But you blamed yourself. But you made it yourself. And you're gonna have to sleep in it tonight. Searching for self-control, so far no luck. The attempt was made, we looked